Everybody in the Bitcoin network has made the decision to store their liquid energy, or at least they made a decision to store some amount of energy in the Bitcoin network. Some people have gone all in. Some people have borrowed money. This is digital energy, which is a million times more efficient than the thing that it replaces. The orthodox view would be, oh, you don't, not your keys, not your coin, right? You're not really a true Bitcoiner. You're an enemy of Bitcoin. Well, you just took $1 billion that would have been invested in bonds and you invested it in Bitcoin and you locked up $1 billion of Bitcoin forever. And because you did that, you drove up the price of Bitcoin, which means you transferred energy in the civilization from the fiat system or the conventional 20th century analog economy to the digital system and the Bitcoin system of the 21st century. So that person is just as much an ally. Maybe they're more an ally, right? I mean, if Warren Buffett got up tomorrow and said, we're going to buy $50 billion worth of a Bitcoin ETF, Bitcoin price would go from 60,000 to 600,000. And everyone that thinks not your keys, not your coin would have 10 times as much energy. And then they can all go and make the world a better place. I believe the whole point of laser eyes, right? If the laser eyes metaphor is focus on Bitcoin. Don't get distracted. Don't get deluded. What Winston Churchill said, if you stop to get in a fight with every dog that barks at you, you're never going to make it to your destination. It's like if you get in a car, you drive across the country and you got to stop at every intersection. And while you're pumping gas, someone's got a political sticker, of the person that you didn't vote for. So you go and you get in a fight with them. If you actually took the opposite side of an argument a decade ago, people still remember. Look at Bitcoiners, right? Sure. You just illustrated it. I mean, I've illustrated Bitcoiners can be very toxic. And if someone said something negative about Bitcoin 5 years ago, they're still remembering. In fact, they're gleefully remembering. It's like they enjoy. I look at this and I'm like, here's a politician that likes us and wants to help the Bitcoin movement. And then there are people on Twitter that are criticizing them. They're like, well, you're not allowed to support us now because 4 years ago you did it. It's like, instead of embracing people and saying, okay, well, you've changed your mind, or it seems like you're accommodating now, instead of welcoming them, we tend to take joy in beating people to death for something they said that might have been ignorant or, inappropriate at a point in the past. I even get beat up. I still have that stupid 2013 tweet thrown in my face over and over and over again. I'm like, I think that maturity is figure out your truth and then choose your battle. And when your back is against the wall, like when there's people coming for your family and it's a do or die situation, then I think you should fight. And when someone wants to corrupt the network, I think you have to fight. When somebody wants to disagree with one of your political views and misunderstand Bitcoin and simply buy $100 billion worth of the ETF, I think you ought to just nod and thank them and take their money, because the $100 billion is going to increase the power of all the people that understand it better and are more convicted by a factor of 10. We all have a mission, right? The world's got a problem. We've got a solution. And most people don't understand the solution. So you're on a mission. I think it's not unlike, I wonder what Tesla felt like. He's trying to evangelize electricity and electric motors, or what Andrew Carnegie felt like when he was going around the world showing, people didn't know how to create bridges, right? And he's going to a city in Ohio and he's putting a bridge over the Ohio River, and it's going to change the entire city, for the better. And people are afraid they can't trust steel, or that they can't trust the iron. And Rockefeller had that same idea, I think. I think that when you have this transformational technology that really is a solution it's a solution to everybody. It's not the solution to everything. It's not the solution to everything, but it is a way to make everything better. It doesn't, pick any city, any state, any government, any institution, any corporation, any family office, any investor, any instrument, right? I can improve an insurance policy. I can improve fixed income. I can improve a bank. I can improve a mobile app. I can improve anything. It's like sucralose, right? Everything you put sugar into tastes better, right? And a lot of people that understood the idea of plugging their hairdryer into the wall don't necessarily understand the implications of advanced semiconductor. And so I think it's a mistake to think you really understand where this is all heading, because maybe if you were a genius, maybe Tesla understood a lot of it. I mean, he definitely understood quite a bit, but there are a lot of people that wouldn't immediately extrapolate way from electricity that lights up a light bulb to Netflix or YouTube, like this, or Zoom or stuff like that, where we end up heading. If I converted the entire human race to energy, which we could also call capital as energy, then I have to choose where to store it. Do I store it in land? Do I store it in gold? Do I store it in US dollars? Do I store it in diamonds? Do I store it on a ledger that runs on a computer in the basement of the Fed? Where do I store that energy? Everybody in the Bitcoin network has made the decision to store their liquid energy, or at least they made a decision to store some amount of energy in the Bitcoin network. That's what makes them part of the same family. Some people have gone all in. Some people have stored 100% of their energy. Some people have gone beyond that. Some people have borrowed money. They've stored 200% of their energy. Not only have they stored everything, but they've stored enough so that should Bitcoin actually go to zero, they will be bankrupt and destroyed, or they pledge their family house. Maybe I mortgaged the family house, or maybe I pledged my company, or maybe I pledged my country. Some people have bet family or property or other things on the Bitcoin system because they're 250% committed, right? Some people are 5% committed. So everyone in the Bitcoin system shares that commitment, and the belief is that this is a true and a virtuous method by which to store their life's energy. At the end of the day, this is a solution to everybody. And if you're going to express it as ideology, it's best to keep it as narrowly focused ideology, the ideology of truth and energy and integrity and empowerment. You know, the ideology of empowerment. If you keep it close to that, you don't get drawn into these polarizing debates. And you can see what happens to the world when we polarize to left and right. And, you know, I don't have to tell you, you know, right? I mean, everybody on this podcast knows what happens if you construct a polarity, which is a I win, you lose, because it takes us to a dark place. So I think if you're going to have an ideology, keep it as an ideology of economic empowerment, and even better, just an ideology of empowerment. We're just going to allow human beings to reach their full potential. And if you're going to articulate as a technology, it's a technology of empowerment. This is digital energy, which is a million times more efficient than the thing that it replaces, and we can build the 21st century civilization on it. And if we don't embrace it, we will be held back and we will not be able to move forward as a human race. Bitcoin is hope. Now you have hope. You can see beyond the horizon. And now that you have hope, you got to figure out what you're going to do with your life and what you're going to do with your life energy, because someone gave you back the option. And before Bitcoin, we took it away from you. If we take away, you know, the option, then life is hopeless.